talk about criminal reform? No. Right? We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about stuff that's timeless. You know, we may talk about how power corrupts and how absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. We may talk about things like that. And if you into stuff like that, you came to the right place. This is chapter 20. I'm joined here. My name is B. Harris. Across from me is Walt Mars. The brand boss has joined us as well. And we got the lovely It's Candace P. What's going on?
What it do?
Yo. Well, happy Monday, y'all. We back at it again. We ready to get in some interesting topics today. Before we do start, can I just say a little thing? I know you ready to jump in, Marshall. I'm always cutting him off. But, you know, today on Monday, you know, I don't want to start off somber, but I do want to just, you know, let people, encourage people about mental health. I talk about it because I struggle with it myself, with my anxiety. And today I want to call it like a mini anxiety attack. But, you know, I just think it's important that, you know, I be transparent. So if I'm less talkative today, it's just for those days for me. But I think it's really important to be aware of where we are with our mental health. And if you struggle some days, take those days to acknowledge it and work through those issues. So although I'm excited to be here, it's just a lot. So, you know, just definitely if you're going through that, go out, reach out to the people that you need to reach out to. If it's a doctor's appointment, if it's just venting to somebody or meditating or writing in your journal, you know, definitely take that time out for yourself to get yourself back to a level where you're able to cope and maintain. So happy Monday. I'm glad you're joining us, you know, and if you are struggling with something, I'm glad you're here, and just know that you're important and how you feel is very important. So
absolutely. And I just want to touch on what you said, Candace. That is most definitely important because so many people have mental breakdowns and they don't have anyone to turn to. That could be even a man. And I know most definitely those are the men are most definitely the ones that kind of basically cover that up so much. And it gets too bad before they can catch it, for someone can actually help them. And it's like, well, why you didn't just call me, you know? So that is most definitely a very, very, very important subject to bring up because a lot of people are going through that. So thank you, Candace.
No doubt. Life get overwhelming, and I'm just thankful that you continue to show up and fight back. You know, and I'm thankful for you for doing that. You know.
Not definitely, man. We all need somebody to talk to. We all need to vent from time to time. We all have burdens on our shoulders, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming. So the fact that you can admit it, you're leaps and bounds ahead of.
Well, thank you. You sound a little delayed.
You sound muffled.
But it may just be your connection. But, you know, I heard you, and, you know, you're welcome. I just think, like, it's just important to touch on. And I think when people hear, you know, people who struggle with their mental health, they just think like, oh, you're bipolar or you're just all the way crazy. And it's really not that. And like, for me, I don't always feel like I was telling Brandon earlier, like it's a constant struggle for me to diffuse myself, like from getting to on that 10 where it's at a 10, it's just like, I'm just spazzing out on everybody and going crazy over little things. but it's definitely it's a mind game for me because I'm constantly trying to diffuse it internally, and it gets exhausting. And one thing for me, I know Brianna said, it's like, well, why didn't you call me? Sometimes it's not easy to admit it and be like, oh, well, today I'm struggling, or like, even to Brandon, my husband, I'm like, it's so much I don't tell him, because one, like, after I had my little mini episode, I was like, I'm not crazy. And he was like, I don't think you're crazy, but you can feel like that, and you can feel isolated from everybody, although you have people around, or even if you don't have people around, it's just a battle. And I just think the most important thing for me is to be transparent and just let people know what's going on, because somebody is listening and somebody it can help, and that's just what we're here to do, So although I'm smiling, it's a struggle to put a smile on my face, but I am really, really happy to be here, and I'm gonna mute myself because I feel me getting a little emotional.
That's good. That's it's really good that you actually sharing that, because I've dealt with depression, and I still do deal with depression really bad, where I basically shut down and I begin to not communicate with anyone. So I totally get why you can't just explain it to to Dan or anyone else why you're going through something, it's unexplainable. Only you know what you're going through, but you honestly can't even explain what you're really feeling. So it's hard for you to explain someone, hey, this is what's going on,
Absolutely. But just to brighten up the mood. Just to brighten it up, I am really grateful to have you guys and to have the platform to really speak about it. And, where it is a safe space, and where, where I can be open and honest, and without viewers, you guys are family now. You're a part of our lives on a daily basis. We take the time out of our schedules and from our family to definitely be here. So, if we want to go into the next topic, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Let me unmute myself. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, sorry.
So that's good. So what that brings to mind to me is being the wounded warrior, right? Like, it's this movie on Hulu called like The Immortal Blade, and he pretty much, got cursed with immortality, and he got called on by this young lady to help her avenge her father, right? But he always get hurt. But he never die. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so even though, we steady trying to reach our goals, we still get hurt. Like our feelings still get hurt. We, we still get disappointed. We still don't meet the mark, but we still try to keep going and still help people in the same way. You still trying to find your own purpose and still trying to, accomplish your goals, and you just keep going, right? Even though, because you're the wounded warrior, you're tough enough, you're a conqueror, right? You feel victorious. You feel it inside of you that you want to be great. That's why you keep going, because you want a mission. You're part of the team.
I think like so many of us, like, especially like if you're the head of your family, or, being a minority, we're not allowed the same space to necessarily have the floor to expose our weaknesses.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So, it's important for times like this where we can commune and talk and express ourselves, because so many of us are that wounded warrior.
Yeah.
Life will beat you down. And on top of not even including everything else, like, if you have trauma from your family, if you have, issues with your spouse or at work or whatever, just life period, being that wounded warrior as a Black woman, we're just, a lot of times we're not able to sit in that emotion. It's like, okay, let's clean this up. Let's get these kids to bed. Let's feed them. Let's clean the house. Let's, go to work and be this awesome employee. Or if you're a business person or entrepreneur, be this awesome boss.
Yeah.
When, you got things that, where you're not healed from. And a lot of times when I think about trauma, I think about where, we have that inside voice. We have that little person, that younger person, wherever that major trauma happened, where you revert to as that kid, or wherever point of life it is. Like, I think about a lot of men who may have gone to jail at a young age, and there's still that little boy inside, wherever that trauma happened, there's still that little boy. So when they get out or whatever, that mindset, your mindset during those traumatic times or those tough times will revert you back to that child in you, or that time where it was traumatic. So it's that flight or fight mode that a lot of us are in, especially during COVID, in this period. A lot of people have that mentality because they're constantly fighting against the machine, and you don't never have that recovery period. So it might be, you thinking you just saying something funny to somebody, and then they
She must have tapped her AirPod.
Yeah, disconnected.
She was
She was on the roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely. How do you lead people when you're also hurt? Like how do you heal people, help people with their finances, and maybe you owe somebody some money. I think that it's definitely in a drive. It reminds me of Paul, the Apostle Paul with the thorn in the side, and or maybe it was in his heel. I don't know where the thorn was. He had a thorn on him. It was a heel. Okay, he has a thorn in his heel, and he said, remove this from me, right? Remove this pain from me, so I can, be better, right? And he confirmed in himself that no, this pain is what makes me stronger.
Mm-hmm.
This pain is
run that back.
This pain that I feel is what makes me stronger. It constantly reminds me that I need to get out here and do what I need to do. Because I know if I feel this pain, imagine if I give up on doing what I'm doing. I sacrifice the pain now instead of having that pain of regret.
Look, I know we was gonna get this deep.
You know what?
So, Brianna, I mean, you and Marshall want to talk about, some of those times where you had to really just sacrifice yourself to keep on pushing for the machine to get to the goal that you achieved, although you were in pain or you were struggling with something. You guys, are, if you want to just share, or if you have an example about anything.
So, hello, people.
What's up?
I'm here. I'm here. No. So the pain that you go through, it is all necessary to complete your mission.
Right.
The pain that you're going through right now and in this chapter of your life is to prepare you for that next chapter in your life. If you were to quit before reaching the end goal or the next chapter, you're not going to realize how that pain was actually not pain at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually the catapult that set you up to your success. When it comes to any sort of pain, if I know that I'm on the right path, and I believe we spoke about that last week, something like that last week. If I know that I'm right there on the right path, and I know I'm where I belong and where I'm supposed to be at that moment, and I feel pain, I mentally in my head say this is part of the process.
Yeah.
You know, when you go through, boot camp for the military people, you go through boot camp, and that's all I know. If you went to boot camp not thinking it was going to be a mental game,
Mm-hmm.
and you got mentally screwed up, you automatically became the quitter. You automatically like, oh, this is not how it's supposed to be, this, that, and the other, boom, shutdown mode. But if you went there with the mindset saying, they are going to mess with me, but this is where I belong, you're going to make it through. You're going to persevere. So when it comes to pain, man, you just got to know where you are. You got to know where you are, and are you where you belong? And if you're where you belong, the pain needs to be tolerated in order for you to get where you're going. If you're outside of where you belong, you might want to get where you belong.
You're tolerated. You know what?
That's how I view it, and I try to stay strong. And of course, everybody has their. What'd you say? I couldn't hear that.
No, I was saying you tolerate it, right? Like you tolerate the pain because you believe. I don't know. Maybe something over the sound.
Oh, but you definitely tolerate it. And like one of the things that Marshall said is like you keep telling yourself this is the process. I think to get through something, you have to keep telling yourself to, whether it's to move forward or let it go, and, I think when you set the priority of, is this a liability or if this is an asset, is this helping me move towards my goal? Or should I just walk away from it and just leave it where it is? That's a constant thing that you have to keep in mind when you have certain goals and you are trying to achieve those things. Like, for me, I think when something is hurtful or if something is a challenge, because it doesn't have to be hurtful, but when something is a challenge, my first thing is really like, okay, do I really want this? I'm like, do I really want this? Do I need this? Do I need this extra stress in my life? And one of the things that was a personal challenge or a professional challenge for me was my new position. Now it's starting to kind of smooth out, but I was in my head like, it's time to go. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to work this hard. I don't know if I I prayed about it and I know God is going to give me what I can bear. But in my mind, I'm like, oh no, this is too much. This is too much. And, I still don't, I know the ultimate picture for me with my position right now and what benefits me being in this position and how it can elevate me to a better position. But I was really truly about to just give it all up and be like, look, let me go back to my old but goodie, what I know. But, definitely seeing myself get through those challenging moments, it's a small achievement from where I was. But I'm proud of myself because I'm like, what would I really be? You know, who would I be if I gave up on myself?
Yeah, right.
You know, and I think that's what you have to keep in mind. Like, stay true to who you are, and even if you are a giver upper, think about the bigger picture. You know, if you're a quitter, think about the bigger picture. Am I going to keep doing the same thing that's going to get me to the same place? Or do I need to get out of my comfort zone? Take some of these L's that feel so bad and help it elevate me, help it push me to be better. Because if you keep doing the same thing and getting the same result, it's insanity. Yep. You know, so that's just one of the things. So I appreciate your comment, Marshall, about that, because it just helps things in full circle where which was last week, this was a couple days ago, where I really felt like truly like giving up and then like, look, I tried, but I didn't really try for that long, you know? So that's just my take on it. Brianna, you had something to say?
Of course I do.
Let's hear it, girl.
Honestly, I really don't have much to say about it. But I was put into a situation earlier this year where I thought I wanted to be somewhere, but I also wanted to be somewhere else. You can't do that. But I was giving myself a chance with going back to a 9-to-5. I don't know what it is, but I keep fighting. I would fight back and forth with, okay, I'm gonna go work for somebody.
It's comfortability. It's comfort.
It doesn't work with me because I'm bigger than that, and I do know I want bigger than that. But I will always seem to, like you said, comfort, lower myself.
Yeah.
It was this change. This was my last time. It just took that one time to be like, you know what? This is not worth it. It's not worth the stress that I have to deal with and that I have to still go home with this that you're bringing to me. You're not respecting me. If you're not respecting on the job, that tears people down. And the thing is, it's not like if you're just the only person that an individual can break down on a job. If you're breaking down your employees all overall.
Yeah, the morale of the
time
company.
to go. It's time to dip. It's time to go. And that was like really the breaking point for me, where it was like, no, I want more. I'm going to stay focused on my ultimate goal.
And then you're getting paid crumbs.
Yeah, and then you're getting paid crumbs to be treated.
Because they never going to pay you what you're worth.
Right. So you're getting paid. You're not getting paid anything to just, to be talked to. However, at first thing, baby, about me, you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. So I will.
Hello.
You see these peace times. I would say bye-bye real quick. And this was the time where it was like, yup, this is for me. And I promise you, as soon as I said that, everything just started saying, let's float. We got this. Everything just started coming into a line. And I promise you, it has been the best decision that I have made. Mind you, I know a lot of people that they're still wanting to work with other people and stuff like that. But I got to that breaking point. That light bulb had lit up for me.
Yeah.
That it's like, no, this is not where you're supposed to be. We're done with this. Now let's go ahead. It's time to stop. Let's come out the playground. You can't play anymore. It's time to get on the real field. Practice is over. Practice is over. It's time to go ahead and hit the real deal, because I'm not about to continue to have you going through this circle several dang on times. It's time to go ahead and get this thing on the road.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I think that we're all homesteaders, you know what I'm saying, if you will. And when you're building up your own thing, when you're building up your own legacy, like Yeah, sometimes you gotta go work for somebody, you know, to make ends meet. But I think that eventually the whole point of it is to get to the point of the brand boss and be like, you know what, now it's time for me to do my own thing. Like I'm gonna do my own thing and further accelerate the journey and the legacy. And I think that's the ultimate goal for all of us, right? I'm interested to know, right, Marshall, how do you know when it's when a checker brother? How do you know? Right, when to be like, I'm leaving, I'm out of here. I'm done with this.
You know, I got more patience than most. I tolerate a lot, you know what I'm saying, but it's only two things I cannot tolerate. You know what I'm saying? When somebody is knowingly lying, and it's like, okay, come on, dude. Like now we can pull cards right here because we know the truth. So I'll check somebody when they're knowingly lying, and I'll also check somebody when they start to get to the point where they're just being disrespectful for no reason at all. Other than that, I really let people reveal themselves and be like, "This, okay, I know who you are." But for some reason, I have to check you. If you lying to me, I gotta check you. For some reason, if you start, being very, being disrespectful, I gotta check you. But other than that, man, I let you. Okay, I see who you are. Thank you. Have a good day. You know what I'm saying? And I really ain't gotta say much to you. I really ain't gotta say much to you. You know what I mean? I can really go to the cutting you off and not dealing with you quicker than a lot of people. But that's because I tolerate a lot. You know what I mean? I tolerate a lot. So when I'm at that point where I'm like this, all right, I don't need you. It's what I mean? It's justice.
You were sound like you was breaking up just a little bit, but the younger me was not tolerable. I think now with more maturity, more patience, my child taught me a whole bunch of patience, but I still need to improve on that. But I was the type where if I felt like you crossed me, if you were wrong, period, I was going to check you. Yeah. Like no matter what, because I have something to say, and I still have that spirit. Like if I got something to say, I'm going to say it. But I think now I have I hope to think that I have a little bit more finesse with how I do things, and I still have a lot of work to do in that department. But it was like, I'll give you an example. Growing up as a kid, my mom always said, like, you always have to say something. So if she said, okay, I want you to go to your room, and that's it, I still had to be like, but why do I have to go in my room? But and it was I always had a lot of mouth, and still do, like I keep on saying, because that's just my truth. But, I think as I grew up and matured, I learned that, like Marshall said, if you let people reveal themselves, and I do that in a sense, and not let them know that I'm onto them, in a certain way, if that makes any sense. But now it's so true, because I don't need to check you on something, because you already showed me. So now I just have to move accordingly and move around you. If you're in my path, if you're obstructing my view of something, then I'm just going to move around you and maneuver that way. But definitely in the past, that's one of the things I had to learn, and I had to learn it the hard way, because with my mouth, it got me in trouble. Whether if it was like somebody wanting these hands, or on a professional level, and growing and building, it was burning those bridges, where I think about my last position, where I was, me running my mouth and me having to say what I had to say, and getting it off my chest, it made it harder for me. And I knew that I plateaued, I hit the wall in that company, because it wasn't about how professional I was or how hard I worked. It was the liking game. If somebody liked me, or if I fit in their clique, or if I responded in a way that they wanted me to respond. And so, in life, you'll see that, and it doesn't have to be in a professional setting. In life, you'll see that, people want, followers, people want minions, people want those yes people around them. And sometimes you just have to be like, oh, okay, I see you, and just move on to the next person, move on to the next crowd, because you don't need 20 friends. You don't need 40 friends. You don't need those people. All you need is a few good people on your team, and know how they move, and you can keep on going and keep on pushing. So, I think that is something I have to keep in mind, that, because I look at life and I look on Instagram, I see everybody having such a great time and they all out. And maybe I want a new friend or whatever, but you gotta consider what the cost is. You gotta see who's in your energy, what type of energy they're bringing and who you bringing into your personal space.
But that's when you gotta stop looking at what people are portraying.
Oh yeah.
On this social media, you know what I'm saying? They might look like they having a good time, but in reality they not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to really step back and actually analyze that they are not having a good time. Because
if you're all on your phone, and just in the sense of social media, if you're capturing everything that's happening in that moment, you're not a part of that moment. You're physically there, but you're not interacting. You're not in the moment with them. If you just there for the picture, you just there for the photo op, you're missing out on maybe some of the best times of your life, so and like you said, Brianna, that's one of the things I had to consider. Like, I think about stuff and I look at people and say, well, what did that cost? Not monetary wise, but what does that cost you to do that? What are you sacrificing to be on every trip, to be on everybody's island, to be to do those things. So go ahead, Marshall, you got something?
Hey, look, I don't have anything. Only thing I wanted to say earlier, but obviously I had to switch cameras on you all real quick, just to show you guys that I was versatile. But nah. Only thing I had to say, like, you don't have to win every battle. Is what you gotta realize. Like, every battle is not meant to be won. The people that's quick to cuss somebody out and quick to, do the finger motion and head nod, like, they're trying to win every battle. You ain't gotta win every battle. Like, what good does it do for you to win an argument with someone that you never gonna see again?
It felt good.
It felt good for how long?
It felt good for that moment, just for that little moment.
But you were the one that will look in that situation. You were the one that was spewing out more negative energy. You're the one that's probably still mad in the car after you done cussed you off. They done drove off. Laughed about it like this. I can't believe she got that mad. You seen her?
Right.
And you still yapping off like this. That MFer got me. You know who I am? I'm Candace P. I'm Candace P. And I don't do nothing for you.
I don't even know who Candace P is.
And he don't know who Candace P is. He like this white Candace P. Get out of here. Like, you have to just remember, like, all battles are meant to be won. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in that sense, it would be Kando. Let me correct it. In that sense, Candace P ain't gonna be there, but Kando the Killer will be there.
Yeah, no. Because look, you trying to win them. You trying to win them little battles when God is saying it's not yours.
Yeah. You hear
it's not yours. You trying to win this small little battle because somebody cut you off. Or somebody accidentally, literally did not see you. They didn't see you, and they accidentally brushed you a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, pay attention when you're going, man. How much energy is that taking from you? Especially if they immediately look back and say, "I'm sorry, I apologize."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand. We live in a very distracted world today. Nobody look as there are people that do things intentionally, but that's easily identified. But when people are doing things by mistake, like a lot of people are really just not paying attention.
Right. Yeah.
They're going through on their phone. They're going through probably even listening to their music in the groove. Not thinking about Candace gonna be walking on the same road because they don't know.
They need to be careful.
Yeah. Hey, look, give these people a piece of your mind when it matters.
Absolutely.
Don't give them a piece of your mind because you want a temporary win, which is not real because it's nothing but negative energy.
And like you're absolutely right. It's a loss. It would be in those situations. It was a loss for me because, like you said, I was the one still fueling from whatever happened, and I was the one that jumped out of character. Or if someone else saw me, I was the one being ugly when in reality, and sometimes it wasn't. Maybe that person was matching me where I was. But that's one of the things that I have learned over the years, and like it's still a struggle because I still want to give everybody a piece of my mind, because I feel like, one, don't disrespect me, but in that sense, I had to learn that I don't need to fight for my respect. And that was my major thing. Like, nobody's gonna disrespect me. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna make you disrespect me. You want to say something?
Pop culture moment. Hey, look, it's just like Cassidy said, right? Cassidy said in the rap battle that just happened, he's like this: I don't need your 2 cents. I need your 2 cents, your ears and eyes. Come on, what?
Yeah.
I need your 2 cents. Your ears and eyes. Stop. Don't give me the 2 cents of you telling me all. I need you to listen and pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it remind me of the Dark Souls game, right? And you could be anywhere in the game, and the people that you fought in the beginning of the game can kill you. Right? They can kill you and take away all your hard work. I think that you got to pick your battles, because you don't want to, if you already have elevated and you already have feel like you have gotten to a certain like stature or posture, right? Then the small stuff, the small fries, or more likely accidents, you just be like, go ahead. If I'm driving, right? When I'm driving, I feel like everybody's driving crazy, especially in Baltimore. I feel like everybody's driving crazy, right? But instead of giving you my 2 cents, I just be like, most of the time, I just be like, okay, go ahead. I'm like, go ahead, man. I'm like, just go on by, man. Like, cause what am I supposed to do? Even though, but if you really piss me off, I'm gonna have to turn down the radio on your ass.
I just never saw a need. I just never saw a need in the cussing somebody out at the light, or what I'm saying?
Really?
Or doing little things like that. I mean, I've always been the type of person that's like, you know what? It's gonna come back to them. If they've been ugly, it's gonna come back. You know what I mean? Now, don't. I'm not saying that I'm just perfect Patty, like, because I instigate things all the time, but I don't. But I'm not gonna like, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody legit had a mistake, or you know what I mean? It's like, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Sometimes they don't be mistakes. Sometimes they just jump right out in the traffic. You be like, yo, what the what?
Yeah. Yeah. But it did. But look, even in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Even in that situation, they can't even hear that you mad.
Right.
You still just wasted energy. You still just wasted that negative energy and put that negative energy in there. I can't believe you. And you're the only one mad. And he gone through. He
like,
that's a thing.
Look, I can hear it calling in the air tonight.
And he up and dancing. He up and dancing. His Justin Timberlake and Nick Lachey. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and you mad. You mad still at the yield sign. You still at the yield sign like this. God, what is going on here? What's going on here? Talking to the little Graham in the back seat. Graham, did you see that?
This guy's obnoxious.
Hey, look, trying to give life lessons like this. Hey, Graham, don't be like that. Don't be no driver like that, Graham. I'm telling you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think, like, for me, I definitely was that example where, like, every time I would go out, I would come back with a story. Like, can you believe this person did this? So I'm like, example, 7-Eleven. I'm in line, and there is one cashier. Well, it's two cashiers, but because of COVID, you have to stand where the signs are to make sure you're separated. And the lady see me in line, and she like, you in line? I'm like, yeah, I'm in line. And then, like, I guess I wasn't moving up to the pace that she wanted me to, although we weren't next. It was still people that in front of us. And I had to really pick my battle not to really cuss this lady out because how rudely she was being to me. And so I said, yeah, I said, the line is right here. He'll call us up like you see him doing the other customers. And then I think I may have went off and said a little bit more to her, but probably true in my fashion. But I think, like, on the times where it was more frequent and more often. What's funny? I think it was more frequent and more often. You gotta figure out if it's you or if it's everybody else. If you keep coming in the house saying, "Oh, I ran into this person and they did this to me and they that might be you." You know, so you gotta learn. I'm speaking to myself. In a lot of instances, where is this me, or was I really this person? Did I need to react like that? Do I need to be, so snappy and so matter-of-factly when I can just move on from the moment? And because that's what it is. It's some tiny little moments in life that has no impression on you until you make it that, and it will be a consequence. And that's what so many people have to realize in life. If you just going to the gas station and you getting what you getting, somebody might step on your shoe, somebody might brush past you, like somebody might not say thank you for holding the door. But because you want to be the one that's saying, hey, no, you want to say thank you to me, or you want to say excuse me to me because you got to make a point, it can change your life in a second, in a millisecond. And that's why we see all this senseless stuff happening on the news, because people, rather than them just saying, all right, that ain't even worth it, let me just go head home, let me just get in. It's worth it. But they want to make it worth it.
You brush it off. It's okay. I'm that one that say, you know what, it's okay. We can be in the store. It's okay. They done messed up on something. You know, it's okay. But when I pull off, I am gonna have a little attitude, y'all. Because I'm really sensitive about my Starbucks, and I can't. If it's not right, I'm like, it's my whole day is ruined. And if it's perfect, you got the best of me. Okay. But yeah, in a lot of situations, I'm always the one to say, it's okay.
But no, let me tell you
But
why
we need
Brianna's
more
like
people
that,
like that, though.
Brianna will be so confusing at the drive-through.
What's the order?
She's the type of person, everybody knows McDonald's menu. I don't care if you say you don't go to McDonald's. Everybody knows McDonald's menu. You know, Brianna will get to McDonald's drive-through window and say, "Can I get a 10-piece nugget with lettuce?" Wait, did you say you wanted lettuce in that? On a 10-piece nugget, Brianna? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do I want lettuce on a 10-piece nugget? What are you... But no, and then get mad and say, "Well, you said you wanted lettuce on a 10-piece nugget. I gave you the nugget on a 10-piece nugget." Not what I wanted. And Brianna's like, that's not what I want. Brianna, they give you exactly what you told them. But she'll let that ruin her day too. But now I was saying, speaking of the gas station, like you said, right? Running into people at the gas station. I remember it was probably every weekend, probably every Friday, there was this one guy that used to be outside the gas station. And every single time we walked in the gas station, he'd just give Brianna a little smack on the butt.
What?
Yeah, and I used to be like this. You know what? He didn't mean to do that. And it was like
every Friday. Brianna, you should have been getting some money from him.
Hey,
you get that slap, put your money hand out. That's $2. $2 per slap.
Hey, look, let me stop. I told Brianna, that's what I was saying. That's what I'm laughing about when you were talking. Because I said, I'm about to tell them that every Friday somebody. But I'm that patient though. I'm that patient.
Yeah.
Like, not every Friday. Was it the same time?
Like this, dude, you just but again. You just smacked her butt last week, and you just smacked her butt again. What are you doing? And he like, man, all right, you made a mistake, my friend.
I know that was your girl.
Yeah. You're like, what? Yeah.
I mean, you let it slide every Friday.
Yeah, you're like, yo.
Now you want to say something.
Now you want
to say something.
Yeah.
I was just trying to let the man live, man. Like,
yeah, you're like, he can't be doing this seriously to disrespect me.
Yeah, why would he do that? You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Oh man. Oh, that's nice, man. That's gold right there.
Yeah. What's that movie where they say where he's like, every night I had to fight for my love? What movie was that?
I don't know that. What movie is that?
Hey,
wow. You know that movie. Somebody know it. If y'all know the movie, comment.
Comment down there. That's not even a real movie. You gonna quote one of them African movies and expect people to know that off the top. Nobody know that.
Those Nigerian Netflix movies.
Nobody knows the words to that. They might look at it and say, "Oh, this could be a good movie if it was better cast members," and that's it.
So,
nobody know the words. Man,
I'm Googling it. But no, I feel like this. Oh, let me get off of me. I'm gonna find what movie it is and prove y'all wrong because I'm gonna win this battle on that one. But I think especially tonight, although it started off heavy and definitely beforehand, it started off very heavy for me, and I'm so happy that I stuck with the commitment of coming on today and being present and being involved because it definitely has lifted my mood. So, you know, when you feel down, if you feel stuck and out, just continue to push forward. I am sitting in living proof right now that, you know, you will make it through, you will move on from it. There will continue to be tough times, but I just think it's so important to keep pushing yourself to do better and to move on and to not stay and sulk in where you are just because you may be at a low point in your life, just because maybe something didn't go right, you didn't get that job, you didn't get that money into your account today. It's okay. And you know, it is going to be a struggle in some sort, but just keep on pushing and keep on striving to be your best self, because when you make it on that other side, like I made it on the other side of this episode today, it's so gratifying and it's so rewarding. So, you know, I hope this helps somebody. And
Close it out.
oh, okay, it's my turn. You know, so I hope it helps somebody. If you want to join in on the conversations, please do. We always have the link available for you guys. Like, share, and keep on supporting us. And I don't know the rest of it, but the power is in your hands. You ain't do it? What?
No. We are not ending it like that. We are not ending it like that. Candace, you need to pay attention, because this is how you end it. Ready?
You gonna let him embarrass me like that? Yeah, that's like Marshall. That's like Marshall letting that guy slap his girl on the butt every Friday. You gonna let him embarrass you like that?
Hey, look, www.theenchiridionteam.com. Go ahead, visit us, get your merch, check us out on SoundCloud, YouTube. Every Sunday, we're going to be having this inspirational uplift from the great Pastor Uncle Tony Lee. Rest in peace. I'm going to be putting out his sermons every single week, or little excerpts of his sermon every single week, because I think his words of encouragement, his words of the word needs to live on. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that for him, and we're going to do that on our platform, the Enchiridion Team's platform. So just remember, all knowledge, everything is in the power of your hand. I love you people.
And I did that. I said all of that.